Walter Isaacson, Leonardo da Vinci. Delve into the captivating story of Renaissance legend Leonardo da Vinci as unraveled by Walter Isaacson, in his insightful biography. Through meticulously researched passages, Isaacson sheds light on the extraordinary essence of Leonardo, illustrating how his insatiable curiosity and unparalleled artistic and scientific skills shaped the world. This book summary delves into Leonardo's early life, his growth and development as an artist, his time in Milan and Florence, as well as his groundbreaking anatomical studies. Acquaint yourself with eye-opening perspectives on Leonardo's life, his unyielding quest for knowledge, and the masterpieces that immortalized him in history.
The Illegitimate Genius. Leonardo da Vinci's exclusion from his father's notary guild gave him the opportunity to flourish as an artist. Born on April 15, 1452, to Piero da Vinci and Caterina Lippi, an unmarried peasant girl, Leonardo was not compelled to join Piero's respectable business. Although traditionally, Leonardo would have become a notary like his father, the guild barred him because he was born out of wedlock. However, Leonardo's illegitimacy was not a hindrance. In fact, being an illegitimate child was not unusual for prominent people during the Renaissance period. Leonardo's exclusion from his father's guild allowed him to pursue his passion for art. Piero could have legalized Leonardo's status at a later time, but it was clear from an early age that Leonardo was destined for a life as an artist. Leonardo's illegitimacy did not hold him back but rather gave him the opportunity to showcase his genius. Leonardo's journey in art. Piero and young Leonardo moved to Florence, where he begins his apprenticeship at Andrea del Verrocchio's workshop, learning the art of painting, much like other artisanal jobs. At Verrocchio's, he had the opportunity of perfecting his skills in geometry, perspective, and the play of light, which culminated in surpassing Verrocchio's talents at only 20 years of age. An example of his superior skills can be seen in the Baptism of Christ painting, where his angel has a lively face and eyes and a soft transition of sharp lines, thanks to sfumato. Leonardo's revolutionary portraiture and the unfamiliar artistic horizons he set. Leonardo da Vinci was a Renaissance man in the truest sense of the term. During the 1470s, Leonardo worked in Verrocchio's studio as a master painter, creating a whole new style of portraiture. He painted Ginevra de' Benci in a three-quarter pose, whereas most portraits in that style tended to be side profiles. He also tried to capture her mysterious inner self in the painting, which became a hallmark of his style. Leonardo was accused of engaging in sodomy twice, but he continued to work on many unfinished projects and established his own studio in 1477. One of these unfinished projects was The Adoration of the Magi, where he made Mary and Jesus the center of attention in a scene depicting awe-inspiring spiritual energy. He left both the city of Florence and the painting unfinished, but his artistic horizons and his revolutionary portraiture opened up many new possibilities for future artists. Leonardo's multifaceted talents. Leonardo da Vinci's move from Florence to Milan proved to be a pivotal moment in his life where he not only sought a patron for his artistic aspirations but also explored his interest in architecture, engineering, and theater. Despite offering Ludovico Sforza his abilities in military engineering, he found his niche in entertaining at court, where his pageants, plays, and scientific demonstrations were a huge hit. During his time in Milan, Leonardo explored the relationship between nature, humans, and engineering, offering ahead-of-its-time ideas like redesigning the city's waterways. His multifaceted talents proved to be fruitful, as he achieved more fame as an entertainer than a painter. Leonardo da Vinci, the social networker. Leonardo da Vinci was a brilliant artist with exceptional social skills that he used to establish connections and opportunities. His love for discussions with architects and mathematicians led him to discover Vitruvius' idea of designing structures based on the human body. This concept deeply fascinated him, and he went ahead to create the world-famous Vitruvian Man artwork. Leonardo da Vinci was not only an artist but also a social networker. He had an outgoing personality that earned him a reputation as a radiant, handsome, graceful, and gifted storyteller. His social skills helped him create opportunities for himself, where he could connect with fellow artists, mathematicians, and architects. For instance, he learned geometry from Luca Pacioli, a mathematician with whom he collaborated to develop his arithmetic skills. His notebooks contain to-do lists where he aimed to learn the multiplication of roots from Luca. Leonardo was obsessed with Vitruvius' ideas that structures should follow the principles of the human body. He spent time discussing this idea with architects, and it led him to create his most famous artwork, Vitruvian Man. In this piece, Leonardo set a man proportionally in the middle of both a circle and a square to highlight the body's symmetry. This masterpiece still fascinates people to date and sets Leonardo da Vinci apart as a brilliant artist and intellectual with exceptional social skills. Leonardo's observational genius. Leonardo's skilled use of observation is highlighted through his art, particularly in the Last Supper fresco for Santa Maria del Grazie Monastery. He spent years studying horses and using creative approaches to optics and perspective to capture the moment when Christ revealed that Judas had betrayed him. Through clever techniques, Leonardo portrayed the emotions of each apostle, creating a sense of depth that draws the viewer's attention to Christ himself. Leonardo's use of rules of perspective demonstrated his application of math and science to his art. Leonardo Goes to War. Leonardo da Vinci's foray into military engineering involves working with the ruthless Cesare Borgia during the conquest of Italy. To improve fortress designs, Leonardo suggested curved walls for partial cannonball deflection and created stunning maps for lightning attacks. Despite achieving his lifelong dream, he eventually left due to Borgia's brutality. Leonardo da Vinci's hidden legacy. Leonardo da Vinci's exploration of human anatomy, detailed through 240 stunning drawings and 13,000 words of observations, remained hidden for centuries. His understanding of the heart and fluid dynamics was far ahead of his time and was not discovered until modern science caught up 450 years later. Before leaving Florence for good, Leonardo da Vinci returned to his studies of human anatomy, which became one of his most impressive works. His drawings of each bone, muscle, and organ from around 20 fresh corpses provided him with intimate knowledge of human anatomy, which could immensely contribute to the sum of human knowledge if published. His notebooks contained early descriptions of the effects of arteriosclerosis on the body, which are only being understood by modern science today. Leonardo's interest in human anatomy went beyond artistic perception alone. He wrote 13,000 words of text accompanying his drawings, detailing his thoughts on the functioning of the human body. His understanding of the heart and fluid dynamics was revolutionary at the time, and his observations of the heart's aortic valve were rooted in his understanding of the laws of fluid dynamics. Using an artistic trickery with wax and a bull's heart, he filled it with wax and created a glass replica to observe the motion of fluid within, 450 years before the modern understanding of fluid dynamics in the heart. Leonardo's exploration of human anatomy was far ahead of his time, and the world had to wait for modern science to catch up to understand the depth of his observations. His 240 stunning drawings and 13,000 words of observations might have remained hidden for centuries, but his legacy endured in his intimate knowledge of human anatomy and his revolutionary understanding of the heart. Leonardo's later years. In his later years, Leonardo da Vinci found a benefactor in King Francis I of France and ventured out of Italy for the first time in his life. He became the king's official artist and engineer and received a proper salary. Despite suffering from a stroke that deprived him of the use of his right hand, he completed 3 masterpieces, including the famous painting, Mona Lisa. Leonardo da Vinci, a genius of the Renaissance era, returned to Milan in 1507 after years of wandering. However, instead of focusing on paintings, he was more inclined to work on scientific studies of air, water, and geology, which dovetailed nicely with his observations on birds, fish, and flying machines. After an unsuccessful sojourn in Rome, he found his greatest benefactor in the charismatic King Francis I of France, who called him the most eminent painter of our time. Leonardo joined the king's court as an official artist and engineer for the rest of his life. He was given the opportunity to design a new royal village in the country, but it was never built. However, he received a proper salary, rather than being paid by individual commission. In 1517, he suffered a stroke that deprived him of the use of his right hand, which he admitted during a meeting with Cardinal Luigi of Aragon. Leonardo felt that his days as an artist were behind him, but he completed 3 masterpieces nonetheless. The first masterpiece, St. John the Baptist, depicted a seductive and androgynous long-haired figure emerging from the shadows, a raised hand pointing cryptically toward the heavens. The second, Virgin and Child with Saint Anne, was still a masterpiece, but it paled in comparison to Leonard's depiction of John the Baptist. The third, which he had been carrying around for years, was to become one of the most famous paintings of all time, the Mona Lisa. At the age of 64, Leonardo ventured out of Italy for the first time in his life and never returned. Despite physical hardships, he continued to create awe-inspiring works of art until the end of his life. Decoding Leonardo's Mona Lisa. Leonardo's Mona Lisa is more than just a painting, it is a product of his lifelong passion for unraveling the mysteries of the world. Leonardo's paintings were a unique blend of motion and emotion, where a simple gesture could reveal a person's mindset and motives. The masterpiece Mona Lisa is not just a painting of a woman but also an enigma that points to his interests outside painting. The painting's background was revolutionary, with the river flowing into the sitter's scarf and the landscape merging with her hair, showing nature's patterns in the human form. Leonardo's studies of optics and perception are evident in the painting, where he used a lead white undercoat to catch the light through translucent glaze. The effect gives the cheeks a shimmering effect of life. Even today, the Mona Lisa encapsulates Leonardo's research into nature and its relationship with humanity, and his message continues to captivate audiences worldwide.
Walter Isaacson's Leonardo da Vinci biography provides a vivid panorama of a genuine polymath who defied conventions and revolutionized multiple fields including art, science, and engineering. With his exceptional artistic prowess and unrelenting intellectual curiosity, Leonardo embarked on an epic journey to unravel the mysteries of the world, leaving an indelible mark on the face of history. His masterpieces such as The Last Supper, Vitruvian Man, and Mona Lisa transcended the traditional norms and showcased his ingenious fusion of science, optics, and human emotions. As you conclude the book's summary, recognize not only the incredible legacy that Leonardo left behind but also the enduring power of curiosity, and how it offers a tremendous potential for growth and self-discovery.